It was interesting. So it could be that there's, especially with this Four of Cups, it could be for some of you that a lot of these emotions and feelings and thoughts have not been expressed. For some of you, the Nine of Pentacles could represent that you are currently like single. And this person has all these like really, deep desires for you, a lot of passion for you that maybe they haven't expressed here. So it could be a bit of a burden almost if they have a lot of yeah, feelings for you that they haven't told you yet. So it's like I feel like though with the Knight of Pentacles, they're definitely planning. And with the Four of Cups here, they're kind of in this like reflection mode where they could be like thinking about how to bring this into fruition. What the right move is. I feel like your person is very thoughtful. I feel like because they see you as so high value and they like you so much, I feel like they don't necessarily want to rush in and make like a careless mistake or say the wrong thing too quickly or something like that. It's like they really want to take their time. But I feel like while they're kind of like, sitting back, like chilling, just thinking about life, it's like you definitely pop up in their thoughts and fantasies. And I feel like they're also kind of like reflecting on, yeah, just like what to do next, I feel like, in this connection. Let's clarify a bit now because I'm curious about this Ten of Wands. Clarify the Ten of Wands. What is Pile One's person's current energy towards Pile One? Clarify the Ten of Wands. Clarify the Ten of Wands. What is Pile One's person's current energy? The Six of Pentacles. Okay, so this also kind of came out in reverse. So yeah, what I'm getting from that is there may not be a lot of sharing going on with your person. They may be withholding their feelings again, which is why maybe it's causing them to feel very burdened because it could be that they have so many feelings that they're kind of stuffing down that it's just like it's like this heavy weight they're having to carry around here. Clarify the Ten of Wands, Pile One's person's current energy towards Pile One. Clarify the Ten of Wands. Clarify the Ten of Wands, Pile One's person's current energy. Okay, so we have the Star, the King of Pentacles, we have Justice, Four of Cups, and Seven of Wands. Okay, so what's going on here? Okay, so with the Justice, yeah, there is something about like an equal balance here. I feel like your person does want to, they want to bring balance to the connection here. I feel like they want to bring like a better version of themselves. This is also can sometimes speak of karma. So it could be that for some of you there is like an element of perhaps a little bit of regret and melancholy because the Four of Cups came out again. That like maybe for some of you they haven't taken off certain opportunities with you, even though they like definitely I feel like want to pursue this connection. It could be that their own maybe fears and insecurities have caused them to stay withdrawn and sort of just like in their own head. But I feel like it's like they know that they need to. And it's like they know they need to tell you something. I feel like there's something really important they need to like offer to you or say because we do have the King of Pentacles again. This like mature energy they want to bring to the connection. This Star, renewal and hope and healing, and then the Seven of Wands is like standing up for something. So it's like this person is realizing I feel like they really want to fight for this connection, and it's like they want this burden to be gone. They want things to be like renewed here with the Star. That's like about like really letting go and healing. So it could be that your person is really realizing that there may be some healing that needs to take place like within them or the connection. For some of you, this even could be like an apology, and that could be why they're feeling kind of stressed and burdened, is that, maybe there's something that they need to say in order to like, lift this sort of maybe, bad energy from the connection and bring forth like justice and fairness between the two of you. And it could have to do with commitment with this King of Pentacles. It's like your person may be realizing that they really do want to offer you stability. They do want to offer you commitment. Like they do want this Ten of Pentacles with you. And so I feel like for those of you where maybe you guys had this opportunity with this person in the past, that could be why the Four of Cups is really here. It's like maybe they are regretful about maybe not coming towards you and being braver in the past, and being really assertive with the Seven of Wands energy. It could have been that they just kind of ended up being apathetic and like letting this opportunity slip by, and now they're kind of remorseful and regretful because they're seeing how that was something they actually really do want. So I feel like they want to return to you and like fight for that energy or that connection again. Clarify the Ten of Pentacles. What is Pile One's person's current energy towards Pile One? Clarify the Ten of Pentacles. We have the Eight of Cups and the Moon. Clarify the Ten of Pentacles. What is Pile One's person's energy towards Pile One? We have the Hermit. Okay, they're doing a lot of, okay, yeah, they're doing a lot of reflection. Interesting. So with the Moon, the Hermit, and the Eight of Cups, it's like your person is like really sort of releasing, I feel like, a lot of their ego, and they're really sort of delving into their subconscious mind. And I feel like they're doing a lot of soul searching here. They're looking at, their deep emotions here with the moon, their intuition. The Eight of Cups is definitely about walking away from sort of like illusions. This can be like, self-deception even, looking for the truth. And I feel like when they've really gotten in touch with their truth, when they've walked away from maybe those false narratives or beliefs that they were telling themselves. It's like in that sort of self-reflection inner journey energy, they're really seeing how this is basically all they really want, and this is really important to them. So it could have been in the past, like I was saying, they may have not been super in touch with themselves, or they could have been a little lost, a little confused, maybe a little bit distorted, and so they may have walked away from this opportunity with you, even though deep down it's what they wanted. But I feel like with the Eight of Pentacles coming out, it's like now they feel really motivated to like work towards this goal. And I feel like also work on themselves. I feel like a person is maturing a lot, is what I'm getting, um, which is really good. I feel like they're maturing and they're growing up, and they're kind of, getting like big picture about like their future. It's like they're getting kind of real about their future and like the direction of their life is what I'm getting. And I feel like it definitely involves you. Clarify the Knight of Pentacles. What is Paladin's person's current energy? We have the Queen of Wands, the Fool, and the World. Okay, really interesting with the Fool and the World. Um, so yeah, it's like there's an old chapter closing here with the World. It could be an old cycle, karmic cycle, like in their life, or even in this connection, an old version of themselves. They've completed some sort of karmic lesson, I feel like. And again, that energy of maturity. It's like they've realized, I feel like, something really important. Um, Maybe if you guys have been separated, they learned that in the separation, or just like in their life in general, they've been learning really important lessons. And now they're ready for this new beginning. And I feel like this Knight of Pentacles and this King of Pentacles energy represents this new version of themselves that can actually bring you what you deserve. And so they're ready to, I feel like, trust in the divine. And then we have the Queen of Wands, of course, with the Empress. So yeah, they find you so attractive, so magnetic that like they really can't stay away from you. And I feel like they just really want your energy in their life, and I feel like they're really realizing that. So yeah, definitely a fresh start. I feel like your person is really desiring. It's like starting from scratch almost, like showing up different, in order to, I don't know, I'm just really seeing this image of like, someone like, it's almost like, okay, what I'm getting is like there's like you're like a farmer and you have a plant that's like dying and you have to like dig it up, but then you like plant something new again, and then like a really beautiful plant starts to blossom. I almost feel like that's the energy with your person. So I feel like with that energy of like the Hermit and the Moon and the Eight of Cups, like they've been doing that sort of digging deep energy, getting all those like, maybe blockages, wounds. They've been kind of digging deep, and kind of getting those out so they can actually plant something really beautiful with you. And the Empress is about creation as well. Um, yeah, really beautiful. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna get some oracle cards now and see what else is going on. All right, Pile One. What is Pile One's person's current energy towards Pile One, please? What is Pile One's person's current energy towards Pile One, please? We have the palm tree. Look at that. Stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance, and flexibility. This is so similar to the energy of the Ten of Pentacles. It like reminds me like a lot of each other in a way. It's just that energy of stability and security. And the permanent energy. The Ten of Pentacles is very permanent. Like you can literally see in this card, this is like multiple generations, like the family home. It's like your person kind of wants to like, come in, be with you, and like not really leave again. You know what I mean? Like they don't want to just disappear, be flighty or inconsistent. I feel like they really want that, again, that endurance. And that's very Knight of Pentacles energy. We have date, dating, get back out there, plan such that a date. So I feel like, yeah, they definitely want to ask you out. This offer with this Knight of Pentacles could be like some sort of text or just like an offer of, yeah, setting dates with you, doing fun things together. So you may receive some sort of message from your person, asking you to, hang out with them, because it's like they're pursuing this stability and this permanence, but I feel like they do want to just like, take it date by date first and kind of like, I feel like see where you're at, how you're feeling. Let's see, what is Pile One's person's current energy towards Pile One? What is Pile One's person's current energy towards Pile One? And then we have photograph, looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia, and make new memories. So yeah, they want to take you on dates and they want to make new memories. I feel like they want to do fun stuff with you. Yeah, and it could be that they are like stalking you on like social media, looking at photos of you. If you guys have known each other for a period of time, it could be that they are sort of nostalgic about the past as well, maybe when times were really good between the two of you, and they are missing you. But I feel like they don't want to miss you any longer, and that's why they definitely want to ask you out. They want to hang out with you. They don't want to be in, it could be that they're like getting tired of just looking at your photos and kind of like, being kind of emo, like in this Four of Cups energy. And they're like, I do have to take action on these feelings I have for this person. I can't just like, sit back forever and wait. Like I do need to do something about these emotions. Otherwise I'm just gonna, be in this energy of regret forever. What is pile one's person's current energy towards the connection with pile one? We have adjustments are required, work through your fears, and you are good enough. Oh, wow. So yeah. I feel like with the adjustments are required card, that reminds me a lot of the hermit, the maturity that's going on. It's like your person is having the maturity to actually look at themselves and say, like, hey, my behavior may need to shift if I want something super real and long lasting, like I need to put in effort, within myself. And so I feel like also tidy or like work through your fears. Your person may have had a lot of deep seated fears that probably caused them to self sabotage. If they were apathetic and kind of like, not doing much in the connection, sort of just sitting back, letting it sort of, like sort of get away from them, I feel like that was because of their fear of loss or a fear of abandonment or a fear of failure or something like that. And so they're having to see that maybe their fears are something that need to be released, and that's definitely an adjustment here, that they don't want to bring these fears and insecurities into the connection. And so that's what they're working on, I feel like, is feeling worthy. With this you are good enough, that they are worthy of you, they're worthy of love, they're worthy of a healthy, stable connection. It could be that deep down they didn't feel worthy of that Ten of Pentacles, and that's why they didn't, reach out and grasp for it. And of course that's like always a self-fulfilling prophecy. Is if we think we're going to fail, then we don't, act on it, and then we do end up failing. So I feel like this is really what your person is working on, is like self-love, and self-acceptance. Especially with that Virgo energy, that can sometimes, Virgo energy, if it's like unstable, can sometimes represent, a lot of perfectionism and, nitpicking of oneself, really obsession, like hyperfixation on flaws and things like that. So I feel like with this culmination energy with the full moon, it's like that's coming to a close. Your person, yeah, with this world energy, that's coming to a close. Your person is starting to realize that maybe they don't need to, criticize themselves in all these little details and feel really awful about themselves. Like they can just come into an energy of just unconditional self-acceptance. So that's really beautiful. I feel like that's why things are looking positive, is because your person is doing that important inner work. Um, all right, so let's see. Let's get some messages from them now and see what they want to say. What does pile one's person want to say to pile one right now, please? What does pile one's person want to say? We have sadness. I miss you so much, my love. And look at that with the photograph, like nostalgia, missing you. So if you guys are in some sort of separation, or, something's going on between the two of you, maybe not a ton of communication, they do really miss you. And they are very sad. I feel like the Four of Cups can represent, a bit of sadness, melancholy, again, that energy of regret, nostalgia over times where you guys were super connected, and then, craving to have that back. What does pile one's person want to say to pile one? We have heartache. Through the heartache, I'm awakening to deeper levels of love and compassion for self and others. So that kind of ties in with this energy of sadness. They may be going through a bit of heartache, regret over past circumstances. And I feel like through this maybe pain, they're learning empathy. And I think that's why they're starting to like progress and ascend. And they're learning to have that, yeah, that level of compassion for themselves. Again, with that you are good enough energy, and understanding, other people, and their feelings as well. What does pile one's person want to say to pile one? We have intuition. My intuition always guides me back to you. I know we have a special connection. Definitely. And I feel like that's why they want to return here. It's like they want to make those adjustments. They want to release these fears so they can come back with this date energy. What does pile one's person want to say to pile one? What does pile one's person want to say? Mirror, you reflect my darkness and light. I see myself more clearly through you. So I feel like all of their fears and insecurities, this definitely could be like, a divine counterpart, very deep soul connection, even twin flame, depending on how you label it. But yeah, definitely with that mirroring energy, I think you've brought up so many of their fears. But it's helpful in a way. But if they can use those if they can use that information to actually go in and deconstruct their fears, instead of just getting mad at you for, like mirroring them to you, I feel like, then this becomes a really good thing. And I feel like that's kind of where your person is coming to, is they're starting to realize, wow, this person is really showing me where I need to work on myself. Thank you, for that. I definitely see that. It's more in the positive. But you also mirror their light, though. You mirror their capacity to love, their capacity to have compassion. Um, and I think your person's realizing that also. What does pile one's person want to say to pile one right now? We have truth. I want to be more honest with you about how I'm really feeling. So there's definitely some sort of truth. With the justice energy that came out earlier, there's something I feel like that they know they need to reveal to you, about their deep emotions. Let's see. What does pile one's person want to say to pile one? What does pile one's person want to say? Oops. Too many. But I'm going to take this one. We do have cycles. There are major karmic cycles that are being balanced out between us right now. And I definitely see that with the world and the Fool, is that there's a lot changing. And again, with the justice energy, that balance. So if there was just like a negative karmic pattern your person had, or just like, an external karmic situation, I feel like that's being worked on right now. And I feel like there's a lot of improvement energy coming from your person in that regard. Let's see. Pile one. What does pile one's person want to say to pile one right now? What does pile one's person want to say to pile one right now? What does pile one's person want to say? We have, please let me back into your heart. I want to reunite with you for good. And look at that. Definitely with the Ten of Pentacles energy too. That's definitely that, like, I want to come back to you. I miss you, and then I want to just like stick around. I don't want this to fall apart again, or I don't want to disappear again on you. Like, I do want to reunite with you permanently. What does pile one's person see? What does pile one's person want to say to pile one right now, please? What does pile one's person want to say? What does pile one's person want to say to pile one? We have, I'm waking up. So they are ascending and they are waking up, getting that clarity, seeing themselves in that mirror and really, understanding that it's okay to evolve, and it's okay and it's safe for them to let go of maybe some defense mechanisms, things like that. What does pile one's person want to say to pile one, please? What does pile one's person want to say? And then we have, I'm hiding away. I don't want you to see me like this. So they are still in a bit of energy of hiding away with that hermit vibe. Still maybe dealing with these really deep fears, and they could be kind of going through it a little bit. The scorpionic energy is like, death, rebirth. It's very intense. So they could be going through a whole little, maybe a dark night of the soul type thing. So they may not be super comfortable in this current moment, like really opening up, or maybe spending a lot of time. I feel like it's a lot for them to handle. They may be very like overwhelmed emotionally, especially with that Ten of Wands energy. But I feel like once they kind of work through those shadows, they do want to come back though. What does pile one's person want to say to pile one? What does pile one's person want to say to pile one? We have, I'm quiet because I don't know what to say to you. So that could be part of it, is they are trying to figure out, what to say. If they're ever quiet, it is probably because they don't quite have the right words. They still could be, again, a bit shy, a bit introverted at this time. But we do have, I'm trying to manifest you. So I feel like your person does want, again, they want to create that Ten of Pentacles with you in the future. So they could be consciously trying to manifest you, or just they are manifesting you because they're thinking about you so much. What does pile one's person want to say to pile one? What does pile one's person want to say? And then we have, I'm done pretending to be someone that I'm not. I can't keep loving a lie. So this is part of that truth energy, like, being more honest, being more upfront, not running away from their feelings, not hiding them so much. And then we have, I feel lost without you. So heartache, sadness, they do feel perhaps very lost, if you're not in their life. And it's like they're having to, I feel like, find themselves and also like find their way back to you. But yeah, definitely, I feel like they're realizing how important you are to them and how much your presence in their life is really meaningful, and it sort of does anchor their energy. You may be a very supportive person, kind of like this person's rock. And so if you're ever like, out of the picture, it could be your person kind of feels just like, confused and disoriented about the, the direction of their life. So if you have been in some sort of a separation, I feel like they have been, a little lost, a little confused. And it's like they know that they need to ground themselves and really find their purpose. And I feel like that all kind of ties into this connection is, their purpose, who they are as a person, who you are to them. And that's part of that maturity, really getting clear on their intention with their life. All right, let's get some messages for you before we close out the reading. Just a word of advice. What does pile one need to hear right now, please? What does pile one need to hear right now, please? Okay. This says, oneness. Someone you dearly miss is forever present in your heart. Remember, dearest one, that even though there has been a physical parting, spiritually those we love never leave us. Creation is eternal. Nothing is ever truly missing, for all is interconnected and ultimately one. That's very true. So this could be related to this person if, you feel disconnected from them, or if there's someone very important to you that has passed on. This is saying that, you're still connected to that person, because, energy doesn't ever really die, and we're always connected at that core level because we are all interconnected in one. And we have opportunity. Wondrous possibilities and opportunities await you. Stop dwelling on past mistakes. Surrender the past lovingly. There is nothing to regret. All is always in perfect and divine order. Everything that you've ever experienced has helped you in some way. The past is behind you. The path ahead is clear. Move forward joyfully and fulfill your heart's desire. So this is definitely saying, stop fixating too heavily on the past. You can kind of definitely take what lessons you can learn from the past, forgive it, and definitely move forward optimistically towards the future, because you never know what's waiting around the corner for you, definitely. And I feel like this is definitely Spirit's way of saying don't give up, don't waste your time fixating on what went wrong, because things are going to align themselves for you. And then we have surrender. Remain positive about the future of our planet, for all is part of humanity's evolution. There is divine order to all the chaos which you perceive in our world. Nothing will ever truly change until we learn to love and accept all as it is. Lovingly surrender your judgments and expectations, and your life will magically transform. This is kind of interesting. I don't think this card has ever come out before, but it does feel relevant to, the current situation in the world, everything that's going on. So I feel like it is important, that we collectively do visualize, a really beautiful timeline for the planet, a beautiful future, because when we all have that collective vision, it's very powerful. So I would just say guard your mind against too much negativity, because our subconscious is very, very, very powerful, and we definitely do need to make sure that we're keeping a clean vision of the future. So, that being said, thank you so much for watching Pile 1. Sending you lots of love and abundance, beauty. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day or evening. Please take care of yourself. Stay safe. All right. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. All right, let's get into your person's current energy towards your connection. See what's going on here. All right, Pile 2. What is Pile 2's person's current energy? What is Pile 2's person's current energy towards their connection with Pile 2? What is Pile 2's person's current energy towards their connection with Pile 2? We have the Six of Wands, beautiful. What is Pile 2's person's current energy? We have the Two of Wands. What is Pile 2's person's current energy towards their connection with Pile 2? What is Pile 2's person's current energy? We have the Page of Pentacles. What is Pile 2's person's current energy towards their connection with Pile 2? We have the Death card. So what is Pile 2's person's current energy towards their connection with Pile 2? Ten of Pentacles. What is Pile 2's person's current energy towards their connection with Pile 2? What is Pile 2's person's... Ooh, and the Knight of Pentacles. So this is really awesome. I feel like there's a lot of optimism your person is coming through with, a lot of confidence. I feel like with the Death card, we have the Hanged Man, so maybe a lot of important, realizations, shifts in perspective, things like that. So, okay, with the Six of Wands, your person is definitely feeling, I feel like they're really feeling themselves in the connection. They're feeling really good. They want to come in and kind of be the victor and the champion of this connection. It's like they feel I feel like special and proud to like have you in their life or be connected to you. Like it brings them a lot of joy. It's like they feel really good about themselves. I feel like they see you as a very high value individual. The Six of Wands can also be about kind of like a public victory as well. So it could be that your person is really wanting to bring this relationship like out in the open. They're really wanting like, your community to like know about it. They want this to be something that is, known by other people because it does make them feel really good to be, associated with you is kind of what I'm getting. This death energy is interesting. I feel like they may be going through a lot of like personal transformation. It's kind of funny. These cards almost like sort of look alike. So it's like there's a lot of internal energy that's going on with them with the death card. I feel like there could be a lot of changes in their life. That could be, letting go of people, things, energies that are no longer serving them, and they are ready to, I just feel like fundamentally shift and elevate. It's like the death card is like the shedding of a layer of, the ego or just a negative layer that you don't need anymore. So there can be a really fresh new start. And then we have the Two of Wands. So this is definitely about your person thinking about the future. They haven't quite maybe prepared to leave their comfort zone entirely, but they are definitely in planning mode. And we have the Ten of Pentacles sort of paired with the Two of Wands. So I feel like what your person is really doing is visualizing this future that they want with you. The Ten of Pentacles is that stable, long-term commitment. This is a really good energy from your person. I feel like this is what they see in their future. The Three of Wands isn't here yet, so I feel like maybe they're not necessarily ready to quite fully dive into it at this moment. There still may be a bit of, shifting to do with this death energy. They may still be needing to let go of some things or still work on themselves a bit. But I feel like with this Ten of Pentacles energy, this is really what they're seeing when they think about what matters to them and what they want to create in their life. You also have the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. So this person is definitely feeling like they want to invest in this connection. They're feeling very optimistic. Again, optimism seems to be coming out a lot. And it's like they really want to, I feel like, come forward in this really stable energy. I'm hearing like they want to come forward to you as like trustworthy. And I feel like they're just feeling like you are someone that just matters a lot to them, someone that deserves their loyalty, someone that deserves their patience as well. So it's like they're kind of just like, I feel like, approaching this situation and wanting to just take it step by step until they can reach their goal here. Your person may be quite the planner. They may really like having action steps. They may be sort of, a very logical person. And I feel like they're not necessarily feeling super headstrong if they want to just like, dive in and be crazy and sort of rush in without a plan. I feel like they really want a plan of how to move things forward with you. The Page of Pentacles can also definitely represent a lot of communication. So this could be about your person wanting to, text you, things like that. Make plans as well. I feel like to see you, but I feel like they're seeing this connection heading in a really good direction, is what I'm getting here. I'm curious about this death energy. I'm going to go ahead and clarify. Clarify the death card. What is pile two's person's current energy towards pile two? Clarify the death card. What is pile two's person's current energy towards pile two? Clarify the death card. What is pile two's person's current energy? We have the Two of Swords and the Page of Swords. Clarify the death card. What is pile two's person's current energy towards pile two? Clarify the death card. What is pile two's person's current energy? We have the Four of Wands and the Magician. Okay, so yeah, it seems like there's some really important choices your person is having to sort of make. The Two of Wands can also represent a bit of a crossroads, as well as the Two of Swords. So it could be that your person is having to choose between maybe two different paths in life, or maybe options, things like that. They're having to get really clear about what matters, and that's what that Page of Swords energy is. I feel like they're definitely contemplating all of this. They're also feeling very, I feel like, curious about you, maybe kind of watching you on social media, things like that. But yeah, they are having to make this important decision. But I feel like what I'm seeing here is we have the Magician and the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands being that stable commitment, the union, kind of like the energy of the Ten of Pentacles a bit. So I feel like your person is really maybe letting go of another option here in life. And they're really feeling very curious and drawn to manifesting this union with you instead of maybe something else. So it's like if there was, another opportunity and another option, I feel like they're realizing that that needs to be kind of released and, tossed aside, because I feel like they're realizing that other option or that other thing isn't really in alignment with their ideal life, their ideal future, their ideal like manifestation. So that's actually really positive. I feel like your person is definitely releasing anything karmic. Let's see. And definitely choosing you is kind of the vibe I'm getting. Clarify the Ten of Pentacles. What is Pile 2's person's current energy towards Pile 2? Clarify the Ten of Pentacles. We have the Emperor, Judgment, and the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so the Judgment definitely is that sort of like life review energy, self-evaluation, a wake-up call. So that could be why this death energy is here, is that they had this sort of wake-up call, like, this is the future I want, this is what matters to me, this person is who really matters to me. And so there is this energy of rebirth, and I feel like your person is being reborn with this Emperor energy as someone who is sort of in their divine masculine energy, someone who is able to provide that stability you need, the committed relationship, someone who can, sustain something like that. And I feel like the Six of Wands represents that there's some sort of victory they're having, maybe over some sort of fear or insecurity or immaturity even. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. So that's that stability, again, commitment, a fresh start, planting those seeds. So I'm seeing a positive change going on with your person. I feel like they're really getting very clear on who they are, what they want. I'm hearing like they don't want to be like a little kid anymore. They don't want to play games anymore. They're ready to get serious about their life and their choices. Let's see. Clarify the Knight of Pentacles. What is Pile 2's person's current energy towards Pile 2? Clarify the Knight of Pentacles. What is Pile 2's person's current energy? We have the King. Okay, I'm going to reshuffle. Is too many. Sorry. Clarify the Knight of Pentacles. What is Pile 2's person's current energy towards Pile 2? Okay, well, we do have the Knight of Cups. I'll just take all these then. Okay, so we have the Nine of Cups. So this is definitely saying that your person is feeling like you are this wish fulfillment for them. Again, this Ten of Pentacles energy, that really happy life with you, I feel like is a goal of theirs, something that they know would make them feel very like self-actualized, very, very, very happy. And so we do have, let's see, we have the Knight of Swords, the Chariot. So yeah, feeling very determined to pursue this goal. So that's really awesome. I feel like your person is wanting to be more assertive in this connection. We also have the Page of Wands. So again, communication, wanting to come towards you swiftly, Temperance, and then the Hanged Man. So I feel like with Temperance and the Hanged Man, your person may have had this sort of pause energy where they took a time out to get this new perspective. I think the Hangman came out when I was shuffling too. So definitely a new perspective has been gained. They've been getting insight, I feel like, on themselves. And there's this inner peace and healing that's going on with them with the Temperance energy. And I feel like there's not a lot of, internal chaos with your person. I feel like even if there was in the past, they're starting to really, I'm hearing they're starting to know how to differentiate between their fears and their heart and their intuition. Is this a fear-based thought? Is this a fear-based action? Or is this something that I really want? Is this something that is something I really feel deep down? And so I feel like it's like I'm getting this image of like a jar that's been shaken that has dirt in it and it's all crazy, you can't see through it, and then, letting time pass, and then eventually you do get, the dust settles and the water is perfectly clear. And I feel like that's what's going on with your person. And that's why they have these really sort of clear intentions with you in this connection, is because they've taken that time to just kind of sort themselves out, is really what I'm getting. All right, let's get some oracle cards now. What is Pile 2's person's current energy towards Pile 2? What is Pile 2's person's current energy towards Pile 2 and their connection? What is Pile 2's person's current energy? We have keys on a ring. So again, that energy of options, decision, different paths in life. What is Pile 2's person's current energy towards Pile 2? We have hammer, cassette, and abundance. Okay. So this is sabotage and rebuilding, repetitive and working on it. So it's like, if there was any sort of self-sabotage in this connection, or, any sort of behavior, I feel like they're wanting to kind of go in and rebuild maybe the connection with you. Also, work on themselves too. I feel like your person is sort of, in that energy of wanting to dedicate themselves to fixing things, to building things and growing things. We have the cassette, outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. So I feel like they're having to, I'm hearing it's like to do with like self-concept, or maybe things that have happened between you in the past, or things that have happened in their past relationships, or even like their parents' relationship. They're having to let go of this sort of outdated thinking that's no longer going to work in this connection. And then we have abundance. Keep a positive mindset, manifest exactly what you want, gratitude and bliss. So this is definitely the energy of the magician that came out with the Four of Wands. It's like, I want to manifest this future with this person, and I really want to work on my mindset, keep a positive mindset about the future. And maybe they're realizing that their own negative thinking might have really affected this connection in the past. And so they're wanting to be more in the energy of gratitude and abundance. Your person might actually be really into manifestation if they know about it. That could be something they're working on. Oops. Let's see. So yeah, they do feel like it's very much like very blissful energy with you too, especially with that Four of Wands energy. That's just sort of that like domestic bliss, happiness, celebration energy. What is Pile 2's person's current energy towards their connection with Pile 2? We have a fiery climax approaches. Definitely that energy of sort of death here, something ending. What is Pile 2's person's current energy towards Pile 2? What is Pile 2's person's current energy towards Pile 2? Let's see, what is Pile 2's person's current energy? And okay, so this is interesting. I feel like this is definitely about some sort of karmic cycle that is leaving your life, because we have this fiery climax approaches. You're very close to achieving your goal, and then like nothing will come of the situation. So I feel like if there is some sort of karmic situation in their life, or just again this outdated way of thinking, if that's what the karmic energy is, there is this climax approaching. There is this sort of final, maybe like tower moment or something. Something is finally leaving their life because they're realizing like this energy is just not going to serve them moving forward. This is not part of the future that they have in mind. This is not what they really want deep down. And so they are very close to, maybe achieving their goal of manifesting this connection with you, or shifting into a more positive mindset. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of really positive energy coming into this person and their view of your connection, and a lot of, I think, more negative stuff is sort of heading out the door, so to speak. Again, maybe these options leaving their life. See, what does Pile 2's person want to say to Pile 2, please? What does Pile 2's person want to say? We have fear, anxious thoughts were keeping me stuck and unable to be in the energy of love. And so that could be that, like this says, replaying events over in your head, or kind of having their fears on a bit of a loop. And I think they're realizing that they do need to release these fears, these anxious thoughts. We have message. I want to reach out and communicate with you more. I definitely see that. So you could be definitely receiving more communication from your person. They're wanting to move towards you. Let's see, what does Pile 2's person want to say to Pile 2? What does Pile 2's person want to say? We have decisions. I'm making important choices about my future right now. Definitely that is the energy of your person right now. They're having to really look at their life and make these really important choices about what path they ultimately will follow. Whenever we're together, sparks fly, chemistry. So there is tons of chemistry between the two of you. A lot of passion. That could be what this climax energy is you two finally coming together. There being a lot of passion between you. And then we have running. I was running away from myself and my unresolved issues. So if your person was running away, or maybe even entertaining other options in their life, or thinking about that kind of stuff, it was because I think they were afraid of this connection. Somehow there was a lot of unresolved stuff that was maybe coming up through this connection that they couldn't deal with. Let's see, what does Pile 2's person want to say to Pile 2, please? What does Pile 2's person want to say to Pile 2? And we have strength. I want to be strong and stand up for myself, you, and our connection. So instead of running, they want to shift in the energy of strength, being there for you, being there for the connection, not giving up, not just running, like fleeing out of fear and terror and anxiety and things like that. Because this connection, I feel like, matters a lot to them. And they're realizing that if they keep running from the things that they really want, they're going to be left, very sad eventually. What does Pile 2's person want to say to Pile 2, please? What does Pile 2's person want to say to Pile 2? What does Pile 2's person want to say to Pile 2? What does Pile 2's person want to say to Pile 2? We have, I've put you on a massive pedestal. I'm so intimidated by you. So that could have been why there was even running and fears and things like that. Because they may have really put you on a pedestal and thought that they were very unworthy. That could have even been, for those of you where it resonates, that they went down a different path or pursued other options in their life. It could have been because they just felt so intimidated by you that they felt like it would be easier to try to go for something else, but they're realizing that those things didn't really bring them any lasting happiness. The connection isn't really there like they have with you. What does pile two's person going to say? I fall more in love with you every day. That's very beautiful. What does pile two's person going to say to pile two? And I long to tell you how much I love you every single day. That's so beautiful. So yeah, your person is really wanting to communicate their feelings, really come together with you and express those deep emotions. All right, let's see. What else does pile two's person want to say to pile two, please? What else does pile two's person want to say? I don't have anyone to talk to at our connection that would understand, so I have to deal with all of these confusing emotions myself, and sometimes it's overwhelming. So that could have been why sometimes they did run away, is they may not have a lot of people to talk about their feelings with. They may not be used to communicating about their feelings, and so they may have just got overwhelmed sometimes and sort of shut down. And I feel like they're wanting you to know that. What does Pile 2's person want to say to Pile 2? What does Pile 2's person want to say? Um, Let's see. I was scared if I let you fully into my heart, you would destroy me. Whoa. So that was that running energy, is that they were maybe afraid of the intimacy. They were afraid of the vulnerability, and then maybe getting ultimately rejected, something like that. So these are all these things your person is really having to work on. What is Politics person going to say? And I feel safer being quiet right now, but I still care about you even in the silence. So if there is silence between the two of you, it could be your person is hiding a bit. Again, there's a lot of vulnerability issues, I feel like, with your person. A lot of running, a lot of hiding, sort of like turtle energy. But I feel like your person is still wanting to return to you and message you. And they're saying that if they're ever quiet, they still care about you. It doesn't mean that they don't care. It just means that they're, maybe feeling kind of insecure, or I'm getting like insufficient in some way. Um, all right. Let's get some advice from these cards now, Pile 2. Before we close out your reading, see what you need to hear. What does Pile 2, Pile 2 need to hear right now? What does Pile 2 need to hear right now? What does Pile 2 need to hear right now? What does Pile 2 need to hear right now, please? What does Pile 2 need to hear? What does Pile 2 need to hear? Okay, so we have, if I can pick this up, we have prayer. Dear God, help me to always remember that this present life is but a fleeting moment within eternity. Help me always to remember that this life is but a dream. Help me always to remember that you exist within everyone and everything. Help me always to remember that love is all there is and all else is an illusion. Thank you. This is really true. Love is really all there is. Everything else is some sort of, distortion. So I feel like if there has been a lot of confusion in this connection, a lot of distortion, just remember there is, I feel like, a lot of love. It's just everything else is sort of, sort of the distractions and the lies we tell ourselves. And I feel like that may be something a person is really having to look at right now. Um, let's see. And then we have acceptance. There's nothing about you that you need to fix. Reclaim the disowned parts of you that yearn for love and acceptance. You are beautiful just as you are, regardless of any faults you may perceive you have. You are an eternally radiant being of light. Accept all that you are and just be you. When you truly accept yourself, your whole world will magically and lovingly transform. And this is very, very true. It's about like, really accepting yourself for who you are as a person, really finding that self-worth based on your values, your core inner self, rather than anything external. That's definitely what they call like stable self-esteem. It's like self-esteem that's built on your connection to source, or your connection to yourself, rather than based on like how you look or how much money you have, because those things sometimes are subject to change, and our self-esteem can get really thrown out of whack if our concept of self is completely based on the external. And this is definitely talking about, like accepting yourself, seeing yourself as beautiful. Because when you really accept yourself and you do see all the things about you that make you so worthy and amazing, other people are going to show up in your reality that mirror that to you, and that see you for who you are, and really love that part of you. Because, if you're pretending to be someone that you're not, if you're hiding certain things about yourself, or disowning certain parts of yourselves, like your wounded inner child or your shadow side, um, naturally you're going to attract more people that kind of connect with you on a surface level. Whereas when you really get in touch with who you truly are, that's when people start showing up that are like, wow, this is such an incredible person, like inside and out. I really care about them, and that intimacy you develop is really special because then they feel more comfortable revealing their inner self, and then you create all these beautiful romantic and platonic connections with people that are really based on that core understanding and that core acceptance of one another. So, Pile 2, it has been a pleasure reading for you. Thank you so much for watching. Sending you lots of love and abundance and good things. Please take care of yourselves. All right. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. Thank you guys so much for being here. So let's get into your person's current energy towards your connection. All right, Pile 3. What is Pile 3's person's current energy towards Pile 3, please? What is Pile 3's person's current energy towards their connection with Pile 3? We have the Tower, King of Pentacles. What is Pile 3's person's current energy towards Pile 3, please? We have the Page of Swords. What is Pile 3's person's current energy towards Pile 3? What is Pile 3's person's current energy towards Pile 3? We have the Hierophant, Six of Cups, and the World. Interesting. We have the Sun on the bottom of the deck, so a lot of happiness, optimism. Okay, so with the Tower and the Hierophant, I feel like there's been some sort of like upheaval maybe in this connection or in your person. The Tower can sometimes seem like a negative energy, but I feel like paired with the Hierophant, it's actually positive because it means that there's something really powerfully shifting and changing. And it can be sort of painful at first, like this can be like kind of like an intense lesson or something that's kind of cataclysmic that comes out of nowhere. But I feel like ultimately the Tower is about releasing illusion and anything that's sort of built on false premises or lies or ego, sort of leaving your life. So I feel like that's what's going on with your person. With the Hierophant especially, I feel like this is a very spiritual lesson that they're learning. And I feel like this has to do with their maturity and their maturation process and really figuring out who they are, especially with the King of Pentacles. It's like your person is having to kind of find themselves through maybe some sort of instability in their life. And this is really teaching them to get to the bottom of who they are, like what really matters to them. Because like with the Tower, when something really dramatic exits our life like that, we're kind of left with just the rubble and the ruin, and we have to kind of start from scratch. And a lot of times that requires people to really dig deep within themselves. And even if it's sort of a painful process, in the end, it can lead to a lot more just like inner stability. So I feel like that's what your person is really working on right now is their inner stability. And I feel like with the Hierophant, this is also to do with their spirituality, their connection to their higher self. This can also be about morality, virtue, values, things like that, like who, like aligning yourself with things that are more like, pure, things like that. So this Tower energy, I always get like kind of karmic cycles ending from that as well with the World here. It feels like there's some sort of closing out that your person is doing. Something more negative is leaving their life, and they are coming into an energy of maturity with the King of Pentacles. The Six of Cups is also a really good sign. I feel like your person is seeing you as a soulmate energy to them. They're seeing this beautiful connection between the two of you. They're seeing that you guys have a lot of just like chemistry. I feel like on a very deep level, you guys may have known each other for a long time, maybe even going back to like your younger years, things like that. Or you could have had a lot of past lives together. But either way, there's just this undeniable sort of sweetness and bond between the two of you that your person feels. And I feel like the King of Pentacles, they're wanting to bring forward stability and I feel like commitment to this connection. The Hierophant can also speak of commitment too. So I feel like your person is really wanting to put their energy towards self-improvement so that they can provide you with the stability that they feel like you deserve. Let's see, and it's like they want this connection to last is also what I'm feeling. It's like they don't want, I'm hearing like they don't want this connection to go to waste, because with the Six of Pentacles, that is a very special bond that they feel with you, and they don't want this to be ruined by anything. It's like they want to be really diligent getting with this. Like they want to take good care of it because it feels very precious. The Six of Cups also definitely shows me I feel like your person has a lot of care for you as a person. There's this like level of adoration and sweetness that they have towards you, like a very gentle energy. We have the Page of Swords in the World. Okay, so I feel like your person's also, very curious about you. They have their mind on you a lot. I feel like they're thinking about you a lot, maybe keeping an eye on you, sort of from a distance at times. But they are, I feel like, very hopeful about this. And I feel like, yeah, wanting to move things forward. I feel like the world also represents a lot of success and victory. This also shows, I feel like your person feels a certain level of like wholeness and completion with you. It's like maybe they do feel like they've found their soulmate with you, that they're starting to really see the potential of this connection as something that could be very deeply fulfilling to them. And I feel like with this tower, maybe that's why they are willing to let go of more like toxic traits or negative influences in their life, because they're seeing that this connection with you is something very special that could bring them a lot of just joy in the future, that this could be something very real for them. All right, I'm going to get some clarity now. Clarify the tower. What is pile three's person's current energy towards pile three? Clarify the tower. What is pile three's person's current energy towards pile three? We have the Emperor, the Ace of Pentacles, and Judgment. Super interesting. So yeah, there has been some sort of like rebirth energy with the Judgment. This is about like that self-evaluation, like wake up call sort of. It could even be like a wake up call literally from source, from spirit, with the Hierophant here. Like they were like, it sort of hit them and they were like, wow, I want to change my ways. Like I want to be a better person. I want to be this emperor. For pile three, I want to be in my more like divine masculine energy. Again, that energy of stability is seeming really important here. And the Ace of Pentacles. So this is about an offer. This is about commitment, a fresh start. Growing something with you, planting the seeds for an abundant future. Let's see. Clarify the King of Pentacles. What is pile three's person's current energy towards pile three? Clarify the King of Pentacles. What is pile three's person's current energy? We have the World again. Clarify the King of Pentacles. We have the Page of Cups and the High Priestess. Okay, so your person is definitely getting in touch with their like inner self and their intuition. The Page of Cups is a very intuitive energy. It's very sensitive. This also can do with like crushes and things like that. So I feel like you bring out this sort of softness within them, this very gentle energy. I feel like you're nurturing also their feminine energy as well. So yeah, I feel like this person is sort of like, you're just sort of bringing up all of these really sensitive, soft-hearted feelings within them, and it's really calling them to reflect, I feel like, on this connection. And they're getting a lot of intuitive guidance that this is, again, a soulmate connection or something very important to them with the World as well. We have that energy of success and completion. Again, also maturity and fulfillment. It's like, I really feel like your person feels like they found their soulmate with you, is like what I'm getting from this. And like their guides are sort of confirming that to them with the High Priestess. They're getting those downloads. Clarify the Six of Cups. What is pile three's person's current energy towards pile three? Oh, look at that. We have the Death card and the Lovers. The Six of Cups twice. That's pretty adorable. That's awesome. I love that. So yeah, definitely confirming soulmate energy with the Lovers too. So even though you also have a lot of sensitivity and sweetness, there is still a lot of passion and desire between the two of you. This person does, want that increase of intimacy with you. I feel like that's like emotional, physical, things like that. There's just this undeniable, I feel like, magnetic attraction between the two of you. And so it's also sort of this like, you're kind of giving them a heart awakening is what I'm getting. It's like you're reminding them of, it's almost like that first crush energy or puppy love, like falling in love with for the first time, like all this nostalgia. It's like a very youthful energy, but it's still mature. And so there is this inner transformation that this love is sort of bringing up within them, this energy of purification, which also the tower can represent, that they're being purified. I feel like by this heart awakening, by this sort of love feeling that they're having for you, they're like seeing all these like changes that they want to make inside of themselves and in their life. And they're ready to, I feel like, end old cycles and really begin again. Really beautiful. I feel like you're really affecting them on this deep level, but it's really for the positive. All right, I'm going to get some oracle cards now and see what else has gone on with them. But this is really beautiful so far. Let's see, pile three. What is pile three's person's current energy towards their connection with pile three? We have ascending. Look at that. That's what's definitely going on with them. We have a separation. Okay, so for some of you, there could be like some sort of separation, or it's like they're having to And maybe that the Six of Cups does represent like a reconciliation that they want to have. The Tower could represent a separation. Okay, so for some of you, it could resonate that the Tower indicates that you guys have separated or there's been some sort of breakdown of the connection. And in this separation, they are learning to transform. They are ascending. They're learning to let go of a lot of things. They are preparing for a union with you. Let's see. And then we have the paradise energy: happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, enjoying each other. So that's really what they want to shift into. If you guys are in any sort of separation, they want this beautiful energy of you guys just really being happy together, just everything being peaceful, everything being good. Um, I'm also getting this interesting energy of the separation, sort of being like in the past, they were separated from their inner self, like they were separated from like God or source. They were kind of separated from love. Maybe that kind of does indicate, that like closed off heart chakra. But I feel like this separation is transforming into this oneness where they're starting to like, really get in touch with source, their inner self, and also you, if that makes sense. So the separation might not be a literal separation between the two of you. For some of you, it could be, but it also could just be about them reuniting with themselves internally too. Let's see, and like closing out the cycle of a lot of like sadness and like misery is kind of what I'm getting from that. What is pile three's person's current energy towards pile three? What is pile three's person's current energy towards pile three? Okay, so we have show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius. Okay, so this is definitely them wanting to um, just show up in this connection as their true self. And that's what the Tower can really represent is, like I was saying earlier, like releasing any sense of falseness or things that are not in alignment with your soul. And so they really want to open up to you and I feel like really be themselves. You have step out of your comfort zone, North Node. So it could be a little bit out of their comfort zone, maybe to be completely vulnerable with somebody. It seems like they are powerfully shifting. And it could be like, this is this new phase for them where they're kind of experiencing love and alignment in a whole new way. And they're having to just sort of be brave about it and really jump in. And then we have don't let pride get in your way. So a lot of ego being released, a lot of defense mechanisms, maybe a lot of masks also being released as well. They're expanding beyond maybe who they thought they were or the limits of who they thought they could be. And they also definitely don't want to bring ego to this connection. I feel like they want to be really real with you. Because they know that that will definitely increase the intimacy if they can really be their most vulnerable self. They could have been sort of masking who they really are for a long time, and it's almost like with you, they're really realizing they don't have to do that anymore, because with the Six of Cups, you really get them on this really deep level, and I also feel like you really accept them for who they are, and I think they really appreciate that. What does Pile Three's person want to say to Pile Three right now? They have commitment. I want to take things to the next level with you, and we do have preparing for union, so this is definitely something they're really wanting here. They're wanting the energy of the lovers. They're wanting the commitment. They're wanting the relationship. What does Pile Three's person want to say to Pile Three right now? What does Pile Three's person want to say to Pile Three right now? We have emotional. I'm feeling so emotional right now about you and everything that's happened between us. So yeah, you're really unlocking this person's feelings, those innermost, just sensitive, deep feelings within them. If there's been a lot of stuff that's happened between you in the past, they may be feeling very emotional. But it could also just be that they're like, wow, where did all these feelings come from, stirring up within me? What does Pile Three's person want to say? We have action. I want to move things forward with you in a positive direction. I definitely see that. They do want to move things forward. I feel like they see a really positive future with you. We have healing. I'm doing inner work right now because I want to heal. That's lovely. So they do want to heal. They want to be their best self. They want to be the real you, the real them. And I feel like ultimately our real selves are sometimes buried underneath a lot of false masks that have to do with fears. So, yeah, they really are healing a lot. That's lovely. So they could be really healing their inner child right now is something that I'm getting. What does Pile Three's person want to say to Pile Three? This Pile Three's person want to say, we have important. You are the most important person to me. That is so lovely. So yeah, you are really important to this person. That's why they really want to put that effort in, because like I was saying with the Six of Cups, it's like they feel like this is a very special like soul connection that you guys have, and you are very important to them. They really like cherish you and adore you. Look at this. We have release. I am letting go of my ego and its defense mechanisms. I want to be true to my heart. Isn't that crazy? We literally have like the ego card, full moon in Leo, don't let pride get in your way. And they're saying that they're letting go of that. So this is super awesome. I love to see it. And then we have warmth. You make me feel so happy inside. You are like a warm fire from my heart. Aw, so yeah, you really open this person up. You make them feel really wonderful. They're very stuck on you. I'm definitely getting that. This is definitely a really beautiful spiritual connection. What does pile three's person want to say to pile three right now? What does pile three's person want to say to pile three? What does pile three's person really want to say to pile three? What does pile three's person really want to say to pile three right now? We have I push you away because I'm scared that if you get too close, you might hurt me. So that could definitely have been something in the past. Is again those defense mechanisms that they're scared of being hurt. Whereas I feel like they're needing to shift into the energy of trust. You are so magnetic. My heart will always pull me closer and closer to you until we are finally one, and that is really very true. I feel like your person is really feeling that just like super intense attraction to you. What does pile three's person want to say to pile three? What does pile three's person want to say? And then we had, look at this. I had no idea how much pain I was truly in until I met you, and all of my repressed emotions and trauma came flooding back. So you could have really triggered a lot of inner work within this person. It could have been very confusing for them at certain points, and they were like, again, when we open up to someone on the heart level, we get in touch with our shadow side and our light side. So, all those things that we might not necessarily want another person to see about us, our jealousy, our fears, our anger, those are triggered just as much as, our capacity for unconditional love. And I feel like that's probably why we have all these deep soul connections in life, is literally just to show us where we need to heal, where we need to release these negative energies that are kind of keeping us stuck at very low level vibrations. The vibration of guilt, anger, shame, hatred, those things definitely prevent us from ascending and living a life of a lot of peace and harmony and bliss. And so I feel like you really came into this person's life to teach them that important lesson. Maybe they've done the same for you too. Let's see. Let me get some cards from this deck. What does pile three's person want to say to pile three right now, please? What does pile three's person want to say to pile three right now, please? We have, I will love you until the end of time. This is really beautiful. So I feel like your person, again, this soulmate energy, they just feel this deep love for you that I feel like is everlasting. What does pile three's person reshuffle? What does pile three's person want to say to pile three? We have, I want you right now. Okay, so a lot of the passion they also have for you. They're really desiring you. You may feel that energetically. What does pile three's person want to say to pile three? We have, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. So there could have been some stuff that your person is realizing, may have been a mistake. But of course, we do learn those lessons. I feel like your person is learning a lot of important lessons. They may feel like they did mess up a little bit in the past, or they did some stuff that they kind of wish that they hadn't. It could have been pushing you away or some sort of action that they did. And I feel like this realization that they did make a mistake is pushing them to want to change for the better going forward. So even if it was kind of like a difficult lesson for them, I feel like this is helping them to release that ego and pride, and step more into the energy of, love. Let's see. What does pile three's person want to say to pile three? What does pile three's person want to say to pile three? What does pile three's person want to say to pile three, please? What does pile three's person want to say to pile three? Oops. I'll reshuffle. What does pile three's person want to say? Okay, we have my heart beats for you. So yeah, you definitely are opening this person's heart so much. I feel like you really maybe make their heart race quite a lot when you guys are together. We have, don't mistake my silence for indifference. So if they're ever silent with you or quiet, it definitely doesn't mean that they don't care. It could be that they're just a little lost for words at times. And look at this. There's a lot more going on with me beneath the surface. Don't be fooled by my mask. Just because I don't show my emotions doesn't mean they aren't there. So this person could be quite the repressor, or that could have been their patterning, is to really deny, to repress, to maybe even use external things to numb their emotions, even if they are like a highly sensitive person. That can be very hard, especially with the energies of the planet being kind of harsh. A lot of highly sensitive people sometimes do resort to things to numb those intense feelings. And I feel like your person is really realizing like that's part of what they need to release, is that they need to truly feel those emotions, because if we don't really feel our emotions, we're not really feeling anything. If we don't feel the pain, we also don't feel the happiness. So I feel like that's really what your person is starting to wake up to. So they're definitely saying as well, just like if this person acts like they don't have feelings, they are feeling very emotional. It's just something that they've learned to maybe deny to themselves and other people. All right, pile 3, let's get you a word of advice now. See what you really need to hear. Let's see. What does pile 3 really need to hear right now? What does pile 3 need to hear right now? We have patience. Patience is required at the moment. You may feel that things are not moving as fast as you would like, yet there is a lot going on energetically. The current situation causing concern is evolving positively. Let go and have patience. You will eventually realize that this whole event was in fact a blessing. All is perfect as it is. Trust. You are eternally loved and guided. So this definitely feels like, in regards to this connection, definitely be patient, because things are unfolding beautifully, it seems. So it's just kind of about letting go. It could be kind of in the tower energy where things are seeming murky and complicated and intense, but I feel like things will be revealed. Clarity will come eventually. And then we have courage. Dare to be different, to make mistakes. That's interesting, because your person is talking about, mistakes that they feel like they've made. Create, for it is in creation that you exist. In this world of dreams that stem from the eternal heart, you are one with all of creation. All is possible. Go forth and be true to yourself, for it is only through being true to you that you can be true to others. So definitely, mistakes are not something to be afraid of. I feel like we don't really learn that much in life unless we do sort of, fail sometimes. And those failures or those difficult experiences oftentimes are our greatest teacher. And then what's awesome is we can go forward and not make those mistakes again, and also teach other people from the mistakes that we've made or the experiences we've had. So definitely don't be afraid, because that's kind of the purpose of life, is we are on this kind of like earth school where we're supposed to really learn about things. And life is messy and imperfect sometimes, and that's totally okay. And then this is definitely encouraging you to step into your energy of manifestation, and connecting to the eternal heart, and that really everything is possible for you. If you want a really positive future in this connection, that's definitely very possible. If you keep that in your mind's eye, if you keep your energy uplifted and positive about the connection, things will naturally shift in a really beautiful way. And you don't have to shame yourself for the past or any mistakes you feel you've made, because you definitely have grown so much from those. And a lot of times, we look back and we realize that all those things that we thought were such an issue or so difficult kind of shaped us into who we are and made us stronger and more resilient. So, pile 3, that being said, thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure reading for you, sending you lots of love and beauty and all of those other good things. Please take care. All right. Bye-bye.